Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Pizza delivery driver killed in Mississauga carjacking was lured by suspects, Peel police. Suspect sought after staff members' car lit on fire in parking lot of Newmarket Hospital. Special Investigations Unit investigating after police in London, Ontario fatally shoot man. Retired RCMP officer charged with helping Beijing intimidation campaign. Man charged for allegedly driving car at parking officer numerous times in downtown Toronto. 19-year-old man charged in fatal chain reaction collision in Vaughan. Police charge fifth person in Toronto kidnapping of Crypto King.
These were the headlines and now let's jump right into the details.
A 20-year-old man is facing charges after allegedly driving his car at a park enforcement officer numerous times in downtown Toronto. On Sunday, shortly after 1:30 a.m., Toronto police said they responded to a call for an assault in the area of Yonge Street and Gerrard Street East. An officer was conducting park enforcement at that time and was starting to issue a violation notice to an illegally parked vehicle, the release reads. That's when the driver allegedly drove his car towards the officer unprovoked. As the park enforcement officer stepped back, police said the driver steered his vehicle toward the officer numerous times before fleeing the scene. On Friday, Shah Faisal Qureshi of Toronto was charged with assault of a peace officer while threatening to use intimidation of a weapon. The charges have not been proven in court. Police have released photos of a man who has allegedly lit a staff member's car on fire in parking garage of a hospital in Newmarket. A release issued by York Regional Police said officers responded to reports of a fire in a parking garage at South Lake Regional Hospital located on Davis Drive at approximately 9:45 p.m. Thursday. Responding officers found a Porsche engulfed in flames on the parking garage, fourth floor, the release said. Fire crews extinguished the blaze, and while there was extensive damage to the vehicle, police say there were no injuries. Hospital operations continued as normal during this time, police say. A spokesperson for York Police confirmed to Awaz News the car belonged to a staff member whose identity they are protecting. The motive for the offense is still being investigated, they said. Video surveillance at the hospital captured footage of an unknown male who police say has been identified as suspect approaching the vehicle at around 9:45 p.m., at which point he appeared to place an accelerant on the vehicle and it caught fire. The suspect was seen leaving on foot, heading southbound on Prospect Street, investigators said. The RCMP has charged one of its former members in a foreign interference investigation, alleging he helped the Chinese government identify and intimidate a person. Police say William Matcher, who is from Hong Kong, used his network of Canadian contacts to obtain intelligence or services that benefited the People's Republic of China. They also say the case does not have to do with election interference. The evidence leads us to believe that his professional activities on Canadian territory would have enabled him to collect information to identify and put himself in a position of intimidation against an individual targeted by the People's Republic of China, said RCMP Tash Adams in an email. Matcher was arrested in Vancouver on Thursday and appeared by video conference in the Quebec court Friday. He is being held in custody until another court date Tuesday. A court document citing the charges says the alleged offences happened between 2014 and 2019. It also says police allege Matcher conspired with others, including a man named Kenneth Ingram Marsh. A LinkedIn profile for Matcher said he's working in investment banking in Hong Kong at EMIDR Limited, a company he co-founded, providing expertise on money laundering and financial crime risk. A 19-year-old man has been charged in connection with a chain reaction collision in Vaughan last month that killed a 72-year-old woman. The three-vehicle crash happened on Pine Valley Drive north of Major Mackenzie Drive on the evening on June 1st. York Regional Police said the driver of a blue Mazda CX-3 stopped to help a dog cross the road. As a result, a grey Ford Escape stopped behind the Mazda. Soon after, a white Mercedes rear-ended the Ford, causing a chain reaction collision, police said. The occupant of the Ford, a woman from Vaughan, was pronounced dead in the hospital, while the occupants of the two other vehicles suffered minor injuries. More than a month after the collision, police announced on Friday they arrested the driver of Mercedes, who is identified as Frank Puritano from Guildford, Ontario. He has been charged with dangerous driving causing death and dangerous driving causing bodily harm. He is scheduled to appear in court in Newmarket in August. Toronto police have charged a fifth suspect in connection with the December kidnapping of so-called crypto king Aiden Pudersky. Pudersky, 24, is alleged to owe at least $35 million to cryptocurrency and foreign exchange investors. An Ontario Superior Court of Justice declared his company bankrupt nearly a year ago, but only $2.2 million worth of assets were seized, much less than the money allegedly owed to investors. The seized items included a $350,000 Lamborghini and $32,000 worth of jewelry. Toronto police announced charges against 4 people early this week in connection with the kidnapping on December 5, 2022. According to police, the victim was lured into a vehicle by the suspects, 2 of whom pointed firearms at him once inside. Police said the victim was held captive for 3 days and taken to various locations where he was assaulted. The suspects demanded a large amount of Canadian currency, and the victim's life and the family were threatened, police said. Video emerged days ago of a bruised and beaten-looking Pudersky apologizing to investors and saying he would reach out to each of them personally. Police previously said that 24-year-old Darren Akimpong of Toronto, 24-year-old Raheem Henry of London, 39-year-old Akil Haywood of Toronto and 37-year-old Tyler Fast of Toronto are all facing various charges in connection with the alleged kidnapping. Police say a 24-year-old international student who was delivering food in Mississauga early this month was lured by suspects to the site where he was violently attacked in a deadly carjacking. In an update Friday, Inspector Phil King of Peel Regional Police Homicide Bureau said Govindan Nath was called to an address on Emerson Lane near Britannia and Crateview Roads at around 2:10 a.m. on July 9th for a pizza delivery. Investigators do believe that there are multiple suspects involved and that the food order was placed as a means of luring the driver to this specific area, King said, adding that investigators have obtained an audio recording of the pizza order placed before the attack. After Nath arrived, he was violently assaulted and left critically injured by a suspect who robbed him of his vehicle and fled the scene, police said. Multiple witnesses came to his aid and called for help before Nath was rushed to a trauma center where he was pronounced dead on July 14. King said despite the infancy of the investigation, police believe Nath was an innocent victim. Nath's vehicle was found abandoned in the hours following the attack in the area of Old Crateview and Old Derry Roads, less than 5 kilometers from the crime scene, King said. The vehicle has since been forensically examined and several pieces of evidence have been retrieved, King said. It's unclear if a weapon was used in the attack, but King said investigators can't exclude that as a possibility. A suspect vehicle has been identified by police in connection with the incident as a white 2012 to 2017 Hyundai Accent sedan with an aftermarket flashing blue light seen in the windshield. King said that vehicle was observed multiple times in the area prior to the robbery as well. A male suspect wearing dark clothing was seen exiting the vehicle and walking towards the area where this incident took place. Police say there is no known connection between Nath and his attackers. Ontario's police watchdog is probing the death of a 35-year-old man shot by police in London, Ontario. The Special Investigations Unit says London police received numerous calls on Friday morning about a man armed with a gun interacting with people in public. Officers found the man in the garage of a house in the city's southeast. The SIU say there was an interaction before police shot the man. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Special Investigations Unit is automatically called in to investigate incidents involving police where there has been death, serious injury, or allegations of sexual assault.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.